In this video we will discussing about how Antara is currently flipping long on AMC and Ape and is preparing to make billions of dollars from the squeeze. Hey, welcome to AMC Daily. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads and also enter our giveaway. But everyone remember, this is not a financial advice video. Antara has sold off their put options, they've exercised their swaps for more shares, and they've even purchased more shares. On top of that, I want to explain exactly why they've done this and how Antara is actually what's known as a white squire. So, as Frank's Place has tweeted, here's Antara's latest Form 4 that discloses even more AMC and Ape transactions. So Antara has just bought this additional Form 4, selling off their remaining put options and also exercising these total return swaps to get even more AMC shares. Here, Antara have sold off another 150 and 160,000 put options, and they've also purchased 3.5 million classic common shares, which is those AMC shares, and an extra 1.5 million and an extra 1 million on top of that. This adds to the additional Form 4 that came out a couple of weeks ago, where Antara sold off another 160,000 put options. So, obviously, Antara has been selling their puts because they expect the AMC price to rise, and they've doubled down by even purchasing more shares on top of that. But it seems that buying an extra 6 million AMC shares wasn't enough for Antara, as they then filed another form for buying an extra 500,000 shares. On top of that, Antara has been selling off these puts and exercising these total return swaps, building up a massive AMC stock position or a massive AMC long position and selling off their shorts. As Darren tweeted, he said, "It looks like Antara is selling their puts and is loading up on calls." He said they're going almost completely long. He said, "I don't want to jinx it, but combined with everything I'm seeing on my charts," he said, "it's pretty incredible." And he says, "Let's see what happens next week." Matthew has tweeted, explaining that Antara has been selling off these puts and purchasing more shares because Antara is actually a white squire. Now, you might be saying, obviously, what is a white squire? Well, a white squire is an investor or friendly company that buys a stake in a target company to prevent a hostile takeover. Now, we've speculated many times that AMC was going through an attempted hostile takeover by one of the shorts. Obviously, if one of the shorts took over AMC, they could simply take out more debt and more loans and actually bankrupt AMC as a company. Effectively, if one of these shorts purchased the entire share capital of AMC, they could simply turn around and close the company, having it delisted from the stock exchange and making everyone redundant. And effectively, this is saying that Antara stepped in, purchased tons and tons of these shares that were issued by Adam Aaron to prevent this hostile takeover. Antara may have quite literally saved AMC from bankruptcy and also made money on both sides of the trade in the process. They knew the shorts were pushing the price of AMC down to enact this hostile takeover. Therefore, they made money with their put options and now they're buying tons of shares, preparing for the squeeze. And it says this is similar to a white knight defense, except the target firm does not have to give up its independence, as it does so with the white knight, because the white squire only buys a partial share in the company. And again, this is exactly what happened. Adam Aaron didn't sell the entire share capital or the entire float to Antara, only selling off a large enough portion to rescue them from this hostile takeover. Antara managed to rescue AMC from this hostile takeover while still leaving us as the majority shareholder owning the majority of AMC and Ape's floats. It says white squires obviously don't take controlling interests, rather it's just large enough to block the binding company. And incentives often offered to a white squire investor can include discounted shares or hefty dividends. And effectively that's exactly what Antara got, buying those Ape shares at the very bottom of the Ape price point. Obviously already capitalizing from the rising price, Antara managed to save AMC and profit massively in the process, while they're loading up on call options and shares, preparing for the squeeze where they're about to make billions. Now, on top of that, this obviously comes at brilliant timing, as Unjewel Wales was tweeted saying that more than 3,000 hedge funds have shut over the last 5 years, far exceeding the number of launches during the same period, per Bloomberg. So it seems like over the last 5 years, hedge funds have steadily been going extinct. And I don't think it will be longer until, as Mr. Ape tweeted, there's going to be a massive chain of dominoes. I think, obviously, as some of these smaller hedge funds or some of these smaller shores start collapsing when the price of AMC rises, it's going to cause a massive domino effect, potentially bankrupting the entire hedge fund industry. More than 3,000 hedge funds have already shut over the last 5 years and very few have actually opened. But why does Adam Aron and Iyer think that even more shorts or more hedge funds are going to go under? Well, Iyer recently spoke on Yahoo, giving an interview at the very start of March about the most squeezable stocks for the month of February 2023. Meme stocks help because define a squeezable stock because they're tighter, they have a larger percentage of their short interests that are shorted. Their trading volume goes up and down a lot. But really I'm looking at losses. Like I said, don't get out of a profitable trade. You see something like Lucy's has a big move in the past couple of months. That's a squeezable stock. You have shorts of leading on this name, AMC. Same thing with stock, especially with the new 8 shares that are possibly getting into play. There's a lot of P&L sitting around and causing shorts to double think their positions. He said, market momentum plays in both the long and short side. That's become a new piece of the puzzle in the market. Iyer has basically said that none of these hedge funds exit a profitable trade. And he said that if companies are making money, they buy the shares and the stock goes up. And typically, if companies are losing money, they short the stock and the stock goes down. And while the stock continues to go down, they won't close out of that short position. And obviously, that's why, as Adam tweeted, his plan is to turn AMC from a loss-making company where shorts short the stock to a profitable company where hedge funds and companies and institutions will actually buy the stock, pushing the price up. As Joe tweeted, he said, shorts attack companies they feel they can destroy. Shorts obviously attack these companies that are loss-making, trying to push them into bankruptcy. And he said, therefore, if you become a successful company and generate profit, you destroy a short's thesis. Hence, there's no logical reason to continue shorting or to continue in their trade. Obviously, if AMC becomes profitable and the share price goes up, these shorts no longer have a reason to stay in their trade and will close out of their short positions. Now, you may say, surely some of these companies that have sold billions of synthetic shares won't be closing out of their shorts because they know it would mean bankruptcy. And while that part I absolutely, completely, 100% agree with, it won't be these giant shorts that have shorted billions of synthetic shares that are first to the exit door. It will be these smaller companies that have shorted fewer shares, haven't committed any illegal crimes, and actually don't face imminent bankruptcy. But obviously, when these smaller hedge funds that don't face imminent bankruptcy are closing out of their short positions, maybe it's a couple million shares here and there. Maybe it's 10 or 20 million shorted shares, maybe even more. That will push the price of AMC upwards, effectively liquidating those bigger shorts. Again, you effectively run into this exact same domino problem. When these smaller hedge funds start closing out of their shorts to save their company before it goes bankrupt, it sets off this domino chain reaction, liquidating the bigger shorts as well. And that's why, as I've always spoken about during the AMC squeeze, we're likely to see multiple waves of liquidations. We're going to see those smaller shorts exiting their positions, then we're going to see some slightly lower, larger shorts being liquidated. Then we're going to see some slightly even larger shorts after that being liquidated as well. Until we finally have the mother of all liquidations, where even these biggest, most illegal and most criminal hedge funds are liquidated as well. I think a perfect example is tweeted by Biotech Moose is this image of a lobster in a pan. Cooking away the lobster is the hedge funds and the banks that are currently shorting AMC. And more heat is being added to the pan. We've got AMC's post-pandemic recovery. We've got their investment in Hycroft Mining. We've got AMC selling ape shares to raise capital to pay off debt perfectly. Popcorn being sold in Walmart retail voting yes, and many other smaller catalysts that will trigger a larger squeeze. Effectively, the only remaining heat that we need to add is AMC becoming profitable, smaller shorts exiting their short positions, slightly larger shorts being liquidated, and slightly larger shorts than that being liquidated as well. As the lobster says, the water seems to be getting hotter, but are you sure it's okay to keep shorting? These hedge funds and banks are going to unknowingly continue shorting until at some point those smaller hedge funds exit the trade, and then these bigger hedge funds will be left with no escape during the squeeze. Guys, that's all we have for you today. What is your opinion about AMC stock? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.